Welcome to the Crafty Stitches Podcast. This is a video podcast where I share all my crafting adventures. In this episode, I have 2 finished projects to share with you and the progress on my other projects, which includes a crochet project. Let's get started. Good day everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariette, also known as die Boervrou, and I'm coming to you from South Africa. Today is the 3rd of January 2025, and this is episode 79 and the first episode for the new year. Happy New Year everyone. I hope that you are ready for this year. I cannot believe that it is already 2025, and I just want to say thank you so much for all of your support and comments over the year that has just passed. I really appreciate every view, like, subscribe and comment. Thank you. You can find me on the internet as die Boervrou. I am most active on Ravelry and Instagram, but I will link all the places where you can find me in the description box right below this video. I hope that you have something to drink and something to work on while we chat project. Let's start with the socks. Here they are. Oh, that looks even better on camera. My friend Liani from Independence Yarn Crafts and I did a little yarn swap of sock yarns. We did 12 5-gram minis and I made a pair of socks with mine. I used my DB Toe Up Socks pattern. I knit the second size in my pattern, which is a 60 stitch sock, and I used 2.25 millimeter needles and 3.25 millimeter needles for the bind off. So I started here at the toe with Judy's Magic cast on, and I knit the toe in a color that I dyed myself. Then I used a main color that I also dyed myself for 4 rounds. And then I started the little minis and I did 6 rounds of each mini. And I kept adding my main color in between. The idea was to bring all the colors together, and I think it worked very well. I have weaved in all the ends as I went, and all the finishing is done, so I can just wash the socks and wear them. I also knit the socks at the same time, but each on their own needle, so in tandem. I did that because I find that even if I knit the second sock of the pair directly after the first one, depending on what is going on in my life, my gauge can change due to stress or less stress, and then the one sock is smaller or bigger than the other one. I had to reknit a complete pair of socks once, as my gauge changed so much with the same stitch counts and rounds. One sock was 2 centimeters shorter than the other one. Yes, that actually happens. And it happens to all of us. I am very happy with this pair of socks. I started the socks on the 1st of December 2024 and I finished it on the 26th of December 2024. The yarn was all 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, with 366 meters on 100 grams, and I used a total of 76 grams of yarn for the pair. Absolutely love this pair, and I would like to do this again. Stunning, stunning colors. Right. My next finished project is my sleeveless top. Here it is. Just look at that. Wow. All right. In the previous episode, I was busy knitting on the body, and I was at this marker here from Annegret from Pincushion Crafts, and I finished the body and the 2 armhole ribbings that was left. This is the second one that I knitted in double knit yarn, and I really love it. I used Moya 100% cotton double knit in the colors Peridot and Burnt Fudge. I again did 10 round stripes per color, and then I decided to also do the ribbing of the body in Burnt Fudge, and I think it looks very good. All the ends of this project has also been weaved in, and it also needs a wash and block, and then I can wear it. I used 3.75 millimeter needles for the stocking stitch parts of the top and 3.25 millimeter needles for the ribbings. I bound off the body hem with Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off and 3.75 millimeter needles to have it nice and stretchy. And the armhole and neck ribbings I bound off with the 3.25 millimeter needles and a normal lifted bind off, so that it will have more structure and not be too stretchy. I started this project on the 22nd of October 2024, and I finished it on the 30th of December 2024, and I used 224 grams of yarn for it total. In the previous episode, I was wondering if I will be able to finish this project before the end of 2024, as I am still on leave from work and therefore did not knit as much as I normally do, but I'm happy to say that I did get it done. Now I must just wash and block it and I can wear it. I'm looking forward to that. One other project that I want to share, even though it was finished quite a while ago, is my bralette. This is the Noelle Bralette. I will link the pattern in the description box below. Not sure how to hold it up. Like that. In episode 71, I talked about how I made it and that the bottom band was too long for my liking. So I folded it over to see how it will be, and it worked much better. So I finally took it off and added a smaller band to the bottom. this piece, and it is much better, but still a little bit too loose around my rib cage. In the pattern there is a piece of elastic sewn underneath this bottom band, but the elastic of the previous bottom band kept scratching me, so I did not want to do that again. I think for my next one I will add a little opening on the inside of the bottom band where I can add a elastic into the fabric on the inside of the fabric, the same way you would add elastic to the waistband of a skirt, and then I think it will be much better to wear. So I will also add a little opening to this one at the seam here on the side, and then it will be done. In the previous episode, I showed my swatch for this project. Here is the swatch that I made for it. I am using Al Cotton's 4-ply in the color Coral. This is the yarn, label. I have just about started this project. I cast it on. And knit this, just this little bit. I'm using 3mm needles for this project, and this will be another sleeveless top, just with thinner yarn. The whole piece will be in one color, and I would love to add some shaping at the bust to create more fabric for the area, but I have no idea how to do that. I will have to figure it out as I go. So hopefully in the next episode you will see a little bit more of this project. Next, I want to show you my Brioche Memories blanket. I am making this brioche mitered square blanket with all my sock yarn, 75% wool and 25% nylon blends. So I showed the blanket in episode 77, not the previous one, the one before, because I'm adding the leftovers from my yarn swap in here after I finished the pair of socks. I'm using 3.5mm needles for this project, and I'm lying it. I had a little gauge issue a little while ago, and a few squares were made with 3.25mm needles, but the 3.5 seems to be working again very well. Anyway, so here it is. I really love how this is looking. So as you can see here, I just cast on the yarn and knit until it runs out, and then grab the next one and finish the square. I added a total of 7 squares since I showed it last, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Look how gorgeous this one is. I am loving it. I've not yet decided how big this will become. Maybe I will attempt another king size blanket. That is a huge amount of mitered squares. I am not able to make up my mind just yet. And I think the best is to just enjoy the knitting and do the decision making later. I am weaving in the ends as I go, knitting over them and weaving in whatever works for that specific square. And then I leave the tails a little bit longer, like that, to snip off after it has been washed and properly blocked. And I just leave the last round that I added and first see if I can knit them in, and then after I will weave or snip whatever is left. Lots of tails. Anyway, right. My next project is a crochet project. I am unsure of what this is called in English. As to me, a doily is something that goes over a jug or a bowl, mostly with heavier beads on the side to secure it in place. So I would say this is more of a tray cloth, or as we call it in Afrikaans, a skinkbordlappie. If you have a better English word for this, please let me know in the comments. I have this little wooden tray where I keep the salt and pepper and some other things nearby the stove, and I want to use it on the wooden tray. So this is what I have so far. I am using my hard coaster pattern for the start of it, and then I will see how I will make it bigger to fill the little tray. I have seen similar coaster patterns online for free, but I cannot for the life of me get it to lay flat with double knit or this shimmer yarn. So in 2021 I decided to just make my own version, and this one lays perfectly flat. So I'm using Moya Shimmer, which is a 50% bamboo, 50% cotton blend, and it has 125 meters per 50 grams, and this is the colorway Luster that I received as a gift. This color is so pretty with the little specks of color here and there. I hope that shows up. Very pretty. I'm also using these amazing stitch markers that I got from Lauren at Little Yarncraft in this project, and I must say I really love them for crochet. They are steel and they have pretty colors. I'm loving how it is working up so far. Okay, let me see. I am using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook for this, and I think that is it for this project. I have been on leave since the 13th of December, and I cannot believe that it's almost finished. I was supposed to be on leave until Monday, but I was asked to bake a cake for a customer at the end of this week, and I agreed to do it, so that'll be the start of my work again. I had an amazing time of rest. I was surprised at how tired I really was, and I'm very glad that I took some time off. It was much needed. We really should prioritize rest. I am looking forward to seeing where this year takes me. I hope that you will join me here on YouTube for the adventure. That reminds me, on the 3rd of January 2022 is when I uploaded my first ever YouTube video. So the podcast is officially 3 years old today. Wow. Thank you all so much for all the support through these past 3 years. I really appreciate it a lot. I love making these videos and sharing my projects with you, and I really hope that you will subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and leave me a comment and tell me what projects you are working on. I would love to chat with you in the comments. So that is it from me. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.